Hey everyone, Chris from Betting News here. The Kentucky Derby is right around the corner, and whether you're gearing up for the big day or just looking to improve your horse racing bets, I've got you covered. Today, we are breaking down the 5 essential tips to helping you become a more profitable horse racing bettor. Let's get into it. Tip number 1, get to know class, condition, track profiles, and trainer patterns. Every track has its own quirks, and understanding why a horse is in today's race is the key to betting smart. Class levels, recent form, and trainer intent all play a role in terms of why the horse is here today. Pro tip, when you're reading the past performances, start with the earliest race that you can find, and then go through each race after that and see if you can create a story as to why the horse ended up here today. Did they get here because they're getting better with each start, or are they getting here because they're maybe getting worse and the trainer's giving up on them a little bit? That can be a huge edge to figuring out why a good horse might still lose in a race against bad horses. Tip number 2, pace makes the race. We've heard this before. It's cliche, pace makes the race, but it's also the truth. Bad horses win races with favorable setups, and great horses can lose races when the race shape goes against them. So it's really important that as a bettor, you diagram the race and figure out what it's going to look like. Start by looking at where each horse is likely to be at the second call or the halfway point of the race. From there, we can get an idea. Do we think the pace will be fast or slow? Do we think there will be a lot of pressure on the front end or maybe lone speed? And then from there, you can start to diagram how that will impact the late stages of the race. Will the speed hold up? Or will the speed fold and start to drop off, opening the door for closing type runners? Keep in mind when you're doing this, you do want to maintain an idea of the track profile. Even fast paces with a little bit of pressure can sometimes favor front runners if that's what the track is allowing to have happen. So if speed is holding up, you may want to factor that into your late pace calculations, that speed tends to hold. If you're looking for what profile fits the track of choice, you can go to Betting News. There's a track bias tool that's great at identifying which running styles have traditionally done well over the track that you're looking to handicap. Tip number 3, betting is just as important as handicapping. Horse racing is an extremely tough sport. There's more outcomes than your traditional soccer match or football game. And on top of that, the takeout or the VIG is higher than any other sports betting proposition. So being a smart bettor is an absolute must. Not taking equally as much time to construct your tickets as you do to handicap is a huge mistake. It's really important that once you've established your opinion on a given race, that you make sure that your handicapping opinion is represented by the ticket structure. If you think it's a one-horse race and only one horse can win, then construct tickets that only have that horse in the winning position, either on top in exactas, trifectas, and superfectas, or singled in horizontal wagers, or win bets that reflect your confidence in that horse. It's important that when you do have a strong opinion, that you also maximize it by pressing up your units to really cash in when you're right. Step number 4, going along with constructing smarter tickets, is recognizing that not every race is playable. It's the hard truth. If you're going to be a better bettor in horse racing, you're going to have to handicap a lot more races than you play. It can be difficult when you have put the time in to come up with an opinion in a race to admit that this race just isn't for me and I need to pass. But it's really important that you pick your spots if you want to be the most profitable that you can. If a race doesn't make sense, you have to sit it out. That might be because you like too many horses or you can't separate horses out from first place, second place, third place. There's just too many contenders in the mix. But you might also love a horse and you might say, this is my best bet of the day. And you go in and then the horse gets absolutely crushed down in the parimutuel markets and is going off at 1 to 5 odds. I don't care how much you like the horse. If those odds don't represent fair value, you have to pass the race. This means that sometimes you could handicap 9, 10, 11, 12 races in a day and only play one. But again, if you concentrate your bankroll to reflect your opinion on that one race, when you're right, you're going to get paid. And then finally, track your bets. Tip number 5 is to keep good records. If you're not tracking your results, you're flying blind. You need to know as much as you can, not about the outcome. How good am I at picking winners? That's certainly helpful. But also, how am I at betting? Which bets am I putting the most money into? Is it win wagering it? Is it exacta, trifecta, superfecta? Is it some of the horizontal wagers like daily doubles, pick threes, pick fours, and pick fives? Which bets am I most profitable in? Maybe I'm hitting trifectas and making a ton of money on those, but I'm giving it all back because I'm not making very much money on my pick threes. Paying attention to these kinds of stats can help you to only wager in places where you have an edge. Don't just focus on the bet types, but also focus on what types of surfaces do you do best on? At what distances? Are there particular tracks or particular days of the week even that might give you insight into how you can maximize your betting profile to make sure that you are profitable when you're placing those bets? Well, that's all. That's 5 key tips to becoming a more profitable horse racing bettor. So go ahead and give me a follow on X at handicappingT3. And if you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out bettingnews.com for more in-depth horse and sports betting analysis and betting guides. Thanks for watching, and good luck at the track.